Private prosecutor Lorna Kapunan says defense lawyer Christine Ferrer nearly got a spanking from her on day 15 of the impeachment trial. State Auditor Silene Del Campo says supply purchases, security personnel salaries, tree planting activities, Christmas parties, and ayuda rollouts should not be listed as confidential fund expenditures. The Department of Education has the biggest proposed budget in the 7.2 trillion 2027 National Expenditure Program. PCG spokesperson J. Tristan Tarriela urges future military leaders to keep the West Philippine Sea above partisan politics. And U.S. human rights groups sued the Trump administration for its campaign to dismantle the International Criminal Court. The impeachment court witnesses one of the most tense days yet between the prosecution and defense, with private prosecutor Lorna Kapunan treating defense lawyer Christine Ferrer like a misbehaving child.
Your Honor, please, I am preventing myself from giving her a spanking, Your Honor.
Presiding Officer Cheese Escudero is compelled to intervene several times to diffuse the tensions between the opposing counsels. At one point, witness and State Auditor Silene May Del Campo tries to answer Ferrer's question but is stopped mid-sentence by Ferrer, prompting Kapunan to ask,
Can the counsel be instructed not to stop the witness at mid-sentence, Your Honor?
Your Honor, please, can the witness be directed to just answer with yes or no? The counsel...
Ferrer insisted that it was her turn to conduct a cross-examination of the witness, but Kapunan insists.
Never mind if you're on cross. There are limits to cross-examination. Misleading questions are not allowed.
They are allowed.
Ferrer's response generates reactions from the impeachment court. Escudero intervenes and makes a motion for both the defense and prosecution.
Let's not allow the generational or seeming generational divide increase the tension in the courtroom. Let's keep it a notch lower.
Private prosecutor Amando Virgil Ligutan posts on Facebook affirming misleading questions are not allowed even on cross-examination.
Klaro po sa rules of court na yung misleading questions hindi po allowed. So kung makikita nyo sa four corners ng post ko, no? Wala doon. It doesn't add anything other than ano yung nakasulat sa rules of court natin.
The defense complains about Ligutan's post in a manifestation in court.
I really just find it in bad taste to do this at this time. And I think it is inappropriate to do that to a fellow member of the bar.
Meantime, in a Rappler interview, constitutional law expert Attorney Lulu Reyes says she is saddened by Kapunan and Ferrer's exchange.
It makes me sad because of first, two women, lawyers at that, fighting in court. So I see a gender dimension there. Women lawyers are always judged differently than male lawyers. So that makes me sad because these are really well-educated and professional women, and the public tends to reduce it into sabunutan ng dalawang babae.
Reyes also points out there is a generational divide between the counsels, but adds she does not condone Kapunan's comment regarding giving Ferrer a spanking. She also points out Ferrer's lack of experience was painful to watch. The 15th day of Vice President Sara Duterte's impeachment trial reveals more details on her infamous confidential fund spending and what this cannot be spent on. State Auditor and witness Silene Del Campo says confidential funds are not needed for the purchase of supplies and provision of medical and food aid.
So sa pananaw mo, hindi kailangan maging confidential yung binilan ng supplies?
Kasi po ang confidential, di ba po pag bumibili tayo ng supplies, ng food, ng medicine, standard procedure po yung merong resibo na matatanggap from the establishment kung saan po natin binili itong mga supplies, food, and
At sa pananaw mo nga,
Del Campo later affirms the Office of the Vice President cannot use confidential funds to pay for security staff salaries, allowances, and other compensation.
If the security guards are being paid salaries, should these salaries be debited or reimbursed from confidential funds?
Isa po, yung salaries po, hindi po siya pwedeng i-charge sa confidential fund.
Okay.
The state auditor later confirms activities listed including tree planting activities, Christmas parties, and ayuda rollouts should not be included under Duterte's confidential funds.
Are these, by nature, are these part of confidential funds activity?
Kung under the joint circular po, yung allowable lang po na ma-charge sa confidential fund is yung enumeration sa item 4.8 po.
At hindi ito enumerated doon.
Hindi po nakasama yung nabanggit po ninyong activity.
Pero
The Department of Education has the biggest proposed allocation in the proposed 7.2 trillion National Expenditure Program for 2027. The DepEd has 976 billion pesos or 13.55% of the total expenditure program. This in line with the constitutional mandate to prioritize education in the national budget. The DPWH comes next with a proposed allocation of 664 billion pesos. The other agencies and sectors with the biggest proposed allocations under the 2027 National Expenditure Program are Acting Budget Secretary Kim De Leon says the government allocated 4.37 billion pesos for confidential funds and 6.4 billion pesos for intelligence funds. Confidential funds have come under scrutiny in recent years after the Commission on Audit flagged the funds used by the Office of the Vice President and the Department of Education under Sara Duterte. Philippine Coast Guard spokesperson J. Tarriela urges future military leaders to keep the West Philippine Sea above partisan politics. Tarriela says the defense of the country's maritime rights is a national duty. Philippine Military Academy Superintendent Michael Lohico also warns cadets about disinformation increasingly shaping public understanding of the maritime dispute. The two officials say discussions on the West Philippine Sea should focus on national interest rather than political loyalties.
I would once again to remind each one of you, West Philippine Sea is not an issue about politics. It is our obligation, it is our patriotic duty, and it is our responsibility that the national heroes who sacrificed their lives will still be recognized.
Have you heard the saying na the AFP must remain apolitical? Right? Okay, mali yun na, mali yun. Okay? The correct way to frame that is that we must be non-partisan. Let's take the discussion out of partisan politics and raise it to the level of national matters of national importance and matters of national interest.
Tarriela tells cadets the country must continue standing up for its rights so future generations will still have a WPS. Tarriela spoke to first, second, and third class cadets on Monday, August 10, as part of courses under the PMA's Department of National Security Studies. U.S. human rights groups sued the Trump administration over its campaign to dismantle the International Criminal Court, calling the effort unconstitutional. The groups who filed the lawsuit are Human Rights Watch, the Open Society Institute, the American Friends Service Committee, and the Center for Constitutional Rights. The groups say those sanctions prevent them from working with the court to seek justice for genocide, war crimes, and crimes against humanity around the world. President Donald Trump in 2025 issued an executive order authorizing sanctions on prosecutors, judges, and others working with the court for pursuing cases against officials from the U.S. and its ally, Israel. Neither the U.S. nor Israel are members of the ICC. And that's today's wrap. I'm Chai Hofilenya. Thank you for watching. Click the link below for the full story. For more updates, download the Rappler app.